What's going on, folks? This is Surrealistic Studios, Surreal News, where the real is surreal. I appreciate you for joining me on this video. We're going to go ahead and talk about this California church incident. Unfortunately, it seems as though, the mainstream media has picked up back where they left off before the whole, virus took off. And we're back to all these, mass atrocities involving guns, unfortunately. So I'm not gonna talk about the story in Buffalo because I'm pretty sure you guys have already, heard of it, and you've been bombarded with news regarding that incident. But I'll give you a short story here from Yahoo News. This is about the incident in California, in a California church. So, California church shooter was a licensed armed security guard. A lot of you guys know that I was also a security guard. I still have my guard card, so I can, go back to work anytime I want to, as far as security goes. But it got to a point for me where, I wasn't enjoying my day. I mean, a lot of people don't enjoy their jobs, obviously, but people are generally irritated when they come in contact with security. So, we don't deal with the most logical of people. We don't deal with the most calm people. We deal with the irate people. We deal with the crazy people. Security guards they're the first contact, when it comes to transients and people that are up to no good. So, I was getting tired of it, and a lot of times you have to deal with this stuff. A lot of people don't understand that security guards are people too. We're not robots, security guards are just people too. They got wives, they got families, they got moms, they got birthdays, wants, needs, and desires, so just like anybody else in the world, a security guard can snap, unfortunately. It happens. And I've seen instances, of iffy security guards. Iffy security guards who said certain things or acted in certain ways that made me give them a side eye a little bit, raise my eyebrow, because it's like, wow, it's unbelievable how some people can end up where they are. They can pass background checks. Somebody actually looked at them and were like, yeah, you're hired. you know that's just the way it goes. But let's go ahead and dive into the story. It's a short one. Again, unfortunately, I have to report on this. I don't like to. It doesn't leave me with a good positive feeling inside. It makes me sad, especially because I'm an empath. So I tend to try to empathize with people, and I can put myself in their shoes, and I can, so it doesn't leave me with a good feeling. But here we go, folks. We're back to the mass atrocities. California church shooter was a licensed armed security guard. Sacramento, California. This is from, they're reporting it from Reuters, but I'm reading it from Yahoo News. Excuse me. The Las Vegas man accused of killing one person and wounding 5 others in a burst of gunfire at a Taiwanese American church luncheon in California on Sunday was licensed to work as a security guard who carries a gun, state records in Nevada show. David Chow was set to be arraigned on Tuesday in Orange County on charges of attempted murder for allegedly killing a beloved local doctor and wounding 5 others. He had worked for 3 different Las Vegas security firms since 2018, records seen by Reuters show, and was licensed to carry a gun in his work through October 2022. Chow, who was being held at Orange County Central Jail on $1 million bond, drove 300 miles on Saturday from Las Vegas to Southern California, heavily armed with 2 semi-automatic weapons and 4 incendiary devices, police said. He attended a church luncheon that a Taiwanese Presbyterian congregation was holding at Geneva Presbyterian Church in Laguna Woods, a community of mostly retired people south of Los Angeles, before opening fire. An official from the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Los Angeles, the Taiwan government's office there, told Reuters that Chow had been born in Taiwan in 1953, still had an active Taiwanese passport, and had done military service for Taiwan. Wow. But prosecutors say he hated Taiwan and had notes written in Mandarin in his car indicating that he was angry about certain or current tensions between the island nation and the Chinese mainland. Chinese government spokesperson Liu Pengyu said his country condemned incidents of violence but urged people not to speculate on Chow's motives until more was known. We express our condolences to the victims and sincere sympathy to the bereaved families and the injured, he said. We wish the injured an early recovery. Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer said he was strongly considering asking for the death penalty in the case, even though California has not executed a prisoner in more than a decade. That suspect was ready to kill everybody in that church, Spitzer said on CNN on Tuesday. It's my belief that he was going to kill everybody and then blow up the church, because they said he had incendiary devices. Investigation. The FBI said it was opening a hate crimes investigation in the case. Spitzer said at a news briefing on Tuesday that he is adding an enhancement of lying in wait to the He's adding an enhancement of lying in wait to the charges against Chow and is considering also adding a hate crime enhancement. In addition to 1 charge of murder and 5 charges of attempted murder, Chow will also be charged with 4 felonies related to 4 Molotov cocktails that he allegedly placed behind a curtain at the church, court documents show. Spitzer plans to ask that Chow be denied bail, the documents show. Up to 40 people, members of a Taiwanese Presbyterian congregation from nearby Irvine, California, were attending a luncheon honoring a former pastor when the shooting began, sheriff's officials said. Dr. John Chang, 52, who was killed in the incident, was shot when he tackled the gunman. Orange County Sheriff Don Barnes said, crediting Chang's acts of bravery with preventing more fatalities. Chang's action gave other congregants, including a pastor, the opportunity to overpower Chow and tie his legs with an electrical cord, detaining him until sheriff deputies arrived. 4 men ranging in age from 66 to 92 and an 86-year-old woman were wounded, the sheriff's department said. Taiwan President Xiao Ling-wen was deeply concerned about the incident and has instructed the island's foreign ministry to help the victims and their families, the ministry said on Tuesday. Reporting by Brendan O'Brien in Chicago, Sharon Bernstein in Sacramento, California. Additional reporting by Michael Martina in Washington and Steve Gorman in Los Angeles. Editing by Mark Porter, Aurora Ellis, and Matthew Lewis. Again, this is from Yahoo News. They're reporting it from Reuters. So, again, just to wrap it up, the California church shooter was a licensed security officer who was licensed to carry a firearm. He drove from his residence in Las Vegas to Laguna Hills in California. And what was it, Laguna Hills, right? Not Laguna Hills. It just says Southern California. I think Laguna Hills was the other place. Oh, no. Yeah, it was in Laguna Hills. Yeah. So he drove from Las Vegas to Laguna Hills and decided that he wanted to shoot the place up. Again, this is coming literally, I believe, right after the incident. And I'll leave this in the description if you guys want to check it out for yourselves. I'll try to remember to put it in there. But this is coming after the mass atrocity we just had, the mass shooting we just had. Let me just pull it up very quickly here. In Buffalo, where I think 10 people lost their lives, unfortunately. Let's see, the guy actually live streamed this event, I believe, on Facebook. And shot a bunch of people and killed a bunch of people. Let me see. President Biden condemned the poison of white supremacy as he honored the 10 Americans that were killed in a racist mass shooting in a Buffalo grocery store on Saturday. 10 people. The president called the mass shooting terrorism as he urged action on assault weapons and efforts to address the relentless exploitation of the internet to recruit and mobilize terrorism. So here we go. More debates. Every time a shooting like this happens, we debate guns, we debate mental illness, we debate white supremacy. Again and again and again and again and again. Let's see. 11 of the 13 people shot in the rampage were black, officials said, and the massacre is being investigated as a hate crime by the Justice Department. In a 180-page diatribe, the 18-year-old white suspect, allegedly details how he had been radicalized and describes the attacks as terrorism and himself as a white supremacist. So he's describing himself as a white supremacist. There's a video clip of him pointing his weapon at somebody who's on the ground, and this person is yelling and pleading with him, please don't shoot, don't shoot, don't. And he says, oh, I'm sorry, because the guy was white and he wasn't black. I mean, this isn't, it's crazy because I see this as an issue of all the different issues. It is a gun issue. It is a white supremacist issue. It is a mental illness issue. It's all of these things. It's not just one. You know, it's the way we're treating each other. It's the way we're conducting ourselves in polite society. You know, it's all of these things combined, and it's really unfortunate to have to report on this stuff. But this is what we got going on, folks. Again, those are just two shootings. I think there was a third one. I mean, honestly, there's always shootings out here in San Diego. There's always shootings around the United States. But these are the ones that made, you know, mainstream news. The main one being the one in Buffalo, the mass atrocity, and then locally for me here in California, we have the one in Laguna Woods. So yeah, folks. Wow. Love, peace, and light. Until next time, remember, be kind, rewind, and spread a little light out there because we could use it. We could definitely use it. Until next time, until the next video, I'm out.